You're watching KWWL. This is an election night special edition of KWWL News at 10.
And good evening, everyone. I'm Ron Steele.
And I'm Abby Turpin. Thank you for joining us.
Well, tonight, of course, is indeed election night.
We have Team 7 coverage across eastern Iowa. KWW reporters are covering different mayoral and city council elections. We will get live to those reports in just a moment.
But first of all, yes, for some of us in the KWW viewing area, some snowfall is headed our way. So let's go back to the forecast center right now with Chief Meteorologist Mark Schnackenberg.
Yeah, snow is across our northern counties where snow is already starting to accumulate on the grass and the rooftops, car tops, that kind of thing. And that trend is going to continue through the overnight hours. Here's a look at the temperatures and the radar. You'll see the snow across the northern counties. There could be a little bit of a rain-snow mix in our southern counties as temperatures are in the middle to upper 30s. So a wide range in temperatures from north to south across the region. As we head through the overnight hours, the bulk of the snow will fall across our northern counties. We're talking the far northern counties, maybe towards Chickasaw, over towards Winneshiek, Allamakee counties, northern Fayette as northern Clayton counties. Those are the areas that will see most of the snow, and it'll be winding down throughout the day. So this may persist on through the early part or even into the later part of the afternoon, but much lighter. We're talking snowfall amounts 2 to 5, maybe isolated 6-inch amounts. Northern portions of Chickasaw County, portions of Winneshiek and Allamakee counties, even far northern Fayette and Clayton counties. And then it drops off really fast as you get closer to Highway 20, where we're talking less than an inch of snow by the time this comes to an end here tomorrow afternoon. We'll take a look at the latest on the road conditions and bitterly cold temperatures in your Storm Track 7 forecast.
Got it, Mark. Thanks. Councilman Rob Green tonight pulls the upset. Green has been elected the new mayor of Cedar Falls.
The unofficial results show Rob Green getting 55% of the votes, Mayor Jim Brown getting 41% of the vote.
KWW reporter Taylor Vessel has been following this race for us tonight. He's live right now in Cedar Falls. Taylor, tell us more.
Yeah, Ron Abby, I spoke with Mayor-elect Green by phone just a few moments ago. He says that he thinks the results show that Cedar Falls citizens are looking for change. Now, I also spoke with him earlier at his watch party. He said one of the first things that he intends to do is review the plan to cross-train police as firefighters.
It's not going to be up to me to decide what that model should look like, but it certainly shouldn't just be up to a small cabal of people. It's got to be something that we have community support on, and that it's open and clear with the data and the facts of what we're willing to have as our quality of service and at what cost.
Green says he'll set up a task force to assess the public safety program to work to establish a strategic plan moving forward. He tells me he hopes to ease some of the discourse on the debate. Now, I also caught up with Mayor Jim Brown tonight to ask what he would do if he wasn't reelected.
Aside from missing the opportunity, being mayor of this great city, life goes on. We find something else to do and move forward.
Now, Mayor Brown says he ran a business before and that being mayor didn't define him. Now, since Green is now mayor-elect, that opens up another seat on the city council. I also spoke with the third candidate tonight, Jim Skane, who says he plans to continue to be an active voice at city council meetings. Live in Cedar Falls, Taylor Vessel, News 7 KWWL.
All right, Taylor, thank you very much. And also staying in Cedar Falls, the city council at-large seat. There is going to be a runoff between Nick Tiber and Dave Sayers. None of the candidates getting more than 50% of the vote.
No runoff in Ward 2 as Susan DeBure has been re-elected once again. She started serving back in 2004. Tonight she garnered 54% of the votes in her victory this evening over Derek Rogers.
And in Ward 4, no candidate getting more than 50% of the vote there as well. It'll be a runoff between Tom Blanford and Simon Harding.
And you ask, in the race for Waterloo Mayor, well, it's Quentin Hart winning re-election. As you know, he was unopposed again. No challenger for Mayor Hart for a second straight municipal election.
Well, now to the race for Waterloo at-large City Council. Dave Bozen unseating Steve Schmidt with 65% of the vote.
Ward 2, Jonathan Greeter wins election tonight. He had no challenger, of course, as Councilman Bruce Jacobs is retiring from the City Council, choosing not to seek re-election.
And in Ward 4, Jerome Amos Jr. also ran uncontested.
Well, here's another upset tonight. The contested mayor's race in New Hampton as Bobby Schwickerrath getting nearly over 53% of the vote here tonight over incumbent mayor Deb Larson.
Right now, we're taking a look at the New Hampton mayor race, as you can see right there on our screen. And she, again, Deb Larson got 40%, and Bobby Shokerath got 60%. Now, we do know also in the race for Jessup mayor, Chris Even getting 67% of the vote, and that is over Larry Thompson. He took 33% of the vote.
Let's also stay in Jessup for the city council tonight as Craig Wright, Curtis Shares, and David Bishop winning the 3 seats with 23, 18, and 15% respectively. They'll be on the Jessup City Council. Let's move over to Gilbertville. In the race for mayor there, results are still coming in, but it appears now that Mark Tomey is leading and will easily win election tonight, 71%. We don't have all the finals there yet from that race, though.
Now to the mayor race in Evansdale. Unofficial results are showing that Troy Beatty getting 74% of the vote, and that is over incumbent Doug Foss. And then in the Ward 1 race, Charles Beam defeating Dottie Ware with 54% of the vote in Evansdale. And for the Ward 3 race, Steve Seibel winning the council seat with 47%.
Let's move to Iowa City now. 3 women were battling for the 2 at-large city council seats available tonight in the Iowa City election. Janice Weiner and Laura Burgess each elected to 4-year terms to the Iowa City City Council tonight. This was Burgess's first run at office. She said she had to believe in herself. Weiner had previously tried for state senate and school board. She says it feels great to finally win one. Weiner and Burgess were both out door knocking on the afternoon of Election Day, their efforts being rewarded with more than 70% of the voter share tonight, for each of them adding up to about 200% since there were 2 vacancies. And both newly elected council members thanked their teams after tonight's victories.
I had amazing volunteers who were with me 100% of the way, getting out there, knocking doors, helping make phone calls, and I mean, without them, this would not have been possible.
I have my granddaughter to thank. She was a great sidekick. I have my whole campaign team to thank. I have people who babysat, people who knocked doors, people who made phone calls. We had tons of people made phone calls.
Now, Janice Weiner also said she had hoped actually for a better turnout in the city elections in Iowa City and hopes to remind people the importance of city elections while she is in office. Let's go to Dubuque right now, a race for Ward 4 City Council. Our numbers tonight: Brad Kavanaugh, an easy winner tonight, 72%.
And we want to continue now our live Team 7 coverage. We'll send things over now to KWWL Dubuque area reporter Ashley Scott.
Well, Ron and Abby, Ward 4 may have been one of the last races to be called tonight, but it certainly wasn't the least. Now, Brad Kavanaugh announced his victory to his friends and family just before 9:30. And he said that while he has a lot of learning to do, one of the first issues he wants to tackle is concentrated poverty.
I've talked a lot during this campaign about the concentrated poverty that we have in Ward 4. You know, we're a really diverse ward in Dubuque, and I want to make sure that what we do with that is actually me reaching out to people personally. I mean, I've been doing that this entire campaign, so people can expect me to go out and talk to them more frequently, I think, than what they've been used to.
Now, Kavanaugh is expected to be sworn in early January. And tonight, Kavanaugh also mentioned some other hot topic issues in downtown, including the futures of the Five Flags Center and the Central Avenue corridor. Live in Dubuque, I'm Ashley Scott, News 7 KWWL.
Ashley, thanks for the update tonight. By the way, we'll stay in Dubuque right now. The Dubuque at-large council race. Dave Resnick defeats Luke Schultz, and Resnick tonight, 75% of the vote.
In Ward 2, Laura Russell getting 55% of the vote, Luis Del Toro getting 45%.
And a race we talked about earlier at 5 and 6, Ward 3 in Dubuque. Danny Sprank is your victor tonight, and Sprank picked up 71%.
Let's move on now to Dunkerton. The results of the mayor's race show Michael Shares getting 53% of the vote there, Edward Jessen getting 47%.
Yeah, so Michael Shares will be once again mayor of Dunkerton. This was the 3rd time they've met, by the way, in recent years. Race for a 4-term council member in Dunkerton, Ron Reichen and Monica Smith. They won the 2 seats with 29 and 22% of the voting tonight, respectively.
And another council seat up for election in Dunkerton. Brian Roquette is going to fill the vacant seat until 2022, defeating Travis Hoying. He received 41% of the vote.
And how about this one tonight in nearby Elk Run Heights? The race for Elk Run Heights mayor, unofficial tonight. It's a tie between Tim Swope, the current mayor, and former city clerk Christy Lundy. Both got 39% of the votes. That means obviously there will be a recount in Elk Run Heights.
And
Somebody has to
also-
win.
That's right, that's very true. Also in Elk Run Heights, 5 city council seats up for grabs. Lisa Smock, Dale Wilson, Tim Ratchford, Dennis Bass, and Heather Salas all winning those seats in Elk Run Heights.
Interesting race in the mayor of Fairfax as Bernie Frieden got 60% of the votes here tonight and Joanne Beer got 40%.
Now turning to Fayette, results showing Andrew Winth getting 55% of the vote there and Bobby Joe Larson getting 45%.
And up in West Union, we are still waiting for the final up there, Lester Hope and Adam Keller. Lester Hope's the current mayor of West Union, being challenged by Adam Keller.
We do have more election coverage coming up in just a moment, but we're going to take a quick break. We're taking a live look right now at our Storm Track 7 live Doppler radar. Chief Meteorologist Mark Schnackenberg will have your full forecast coming up in just a bit.
This is KWWL News at 10 with Ron Steele, Abby Turpin, Storm Track 7 Chief Meteorologist Mark Schnackenberg.
Was I supposed to say
and
something?
Sports with Rick Coleman. We've got you covered.